Okay, let's go. First video. So, a quick warning before we really start is that there's going to be a lot of flashing images and colors because as I draw, I will be zooming in and out a ton. So if you can't watch that, you don't want to watch that, don't watch the video, I guess. I want you to watch, but if you can't watch it, then that's fine. Put it on in the background so you can give me the views, but don't look at it. So I'm starting a project myself. I'm going to be drawing every single warrior cat character. And I assume other people have done this before. There's a lot of art out there, or at least try or have started doing that, but I'm doing it myself. I've wanted to do this for like 5 years. But when I did this when I was 12, 5 years ago, well, first of all, there was a lot less characters. But also I wasn't very good at drawing. And I did it traditionally, and I don't have that much paper. So I got to like 5 or so cats before I just quit. But that's okay, because I'm doing it again, but better. Starting with Acorn Fur. I'm doing all the cats alphabetically. And I had 2 other plans of how, what cats I was going to do in what order. I originally wanted to do it by order of appearance, starting from Into the Wild, but I don't want to reread all the books. I want to, that's another thing I want to do, but not right now, because I'm already starting a huge project, and then reading all the books as well would just be a lot for me. But that's okay, so we'll just not do it that way. My other plan was to put every cat's name into a giant wheel and spin the wheel and let it randomly generate which cat to do. And I didn't want to do that because that would take too long to put every single name in and then spin it, because there's a lot of cats. And I'm lazy, so I'm sorry. I put a poll in 2 different Discord servers asking what order I should do it in. They're like, alphabetical or randomly generated, and nobody in either server chose to do it alphabetically. So I am very sorry to make you do that poll. I didn't listen to you. Oh well, I'm sorry. But that's fine. I do it my own way. And so, starting with Acorn Fur, she's number 1, alphabetically. There is, if I recall correctly, 1,400 cats. There's 1,481, I think. But that could be wrong. I'm sorry to those hardcore Ziggy fans. She's last. So if you really like the kitty pet Ziggy, you gotta wait, man. I'm so sorry. Not really. But that list will probably get longer since they're still making books. That's fine. So I will be talking about each cat as well. Just give a little info on them, because I don't want you to just sit in silence and stare. So also spoilers as I talk, if you don't want spoilers for any of these, don't listen. But spoilers. So Acorn Fur was in Dawn of the Clans. That's why her name is spaced out. Acorn space Fur. But I remember really liking her. Her brother was Lightning Tail, which I really liked him as well. She was born on the moor, but then she moved to Clear Sky's camp after the Great Battle. I don't know why she chose Clear Sky of all people, especially since her adopted brother was Thunder. So it's like, you're really gonna go, rub salt in the wound to poor Thunder, going to his horrible dad, but that's fine. She stayed pretty loyal to Clear Sky. When One Eye came to attack and everything, she was loyal to him, believed him, and all that. And she became a medicine cat later, which I haven't read the books in a while. I do want to reread them, like I said, but I haven't read it in a while, but I don't think it fit her character. I remember not liking the choice that she became a medicine cat. But, you know, she became a medicine cat because she was assigned to watch over Micah when he came over for some reason. I can't remember. And then she picked up on his skills and then just became the medicine cat after he died. So she was a medicine cat. I don't think it fits her, but maybe I'll think it fits her better after I reread. I mean, I do remember she tried saving Petal and her kits, I think, and so maybe she just had a thing for healing people. I don't know. But yeah, there isn't too much about her. At least compared to some of these other cats, because a lot of them are just background characters with nothing. But that's fine. Just wish me luck, you know. One of my goals with this series as well is I want to improve my art, definitely. Because people who know me might know that I only draw cats facing to the left, standing facing to the left, and their head is tilted so it's like a 3/4 view. But I don't draw the second eye in the background because I can't do that. So, you know, hey, already an improvement. It's a side profile and her head is turned towards the right. So, I'm already improving. No. But, yeah, so hopefully I get better, and maybe once I get to the very end, I can go back and look at Acorn Fur and be like, ew, what is this? Let me redo this, because I'm gonna probably hate it in however long it takes to get there. 5 years, I don't know. God, I hope not 5 years. 2030, bro, I can't do that. But yeah, so Acorn Fur is done. I will put the finished product at the end of the video for each cat. So, you know, if you want to just skip to the end, go ahead. But don't. I worked really hard on this. So the next cat that we're doing is Acornpaw from Sky Clan as well. He's pretty much just a background character. I mean, a lot of these cats are going to be background characters. But at least he has a description, kind of. They never said his eye color, so I went with a bright forest green. Specifically, I color picked it from a oak tree, because acorns come from oaks, you know. I thought it'd be clever. But the Warriors Wiki gave him like a light, soft, sage green eyes. Which is nice, but I want to be a little unique, I guess. But he doesn't really do much. He appears in Cloudstar's Journey. He's just an apprentice. He doesn't do much. Average apprentice stuff. He's like, oh, I don't want to hunt, I want to do battle training, blah blah blah. So he's not really relevant. He does appear in Shattered Sky. I think he's only mentioned, or like seen, maybe not even mentioned by name, when Sky Clan ancestors returned to Star Clan. But that's about it, so he's not really relevant. But yeah, I went with like a little mischievous pose because apprentices are like that, I guess. I had a completely different pose originally, and I completely scrapped that. Deleted the video footage as well. I did not like it. But I later did that same pose with Adderfang, or at least a similar one, which I liked a lot better, so I'm glad it worked out like that. Also, with Adderfang, kind of related, I didn't draw the second eye on this one at all. I couldn't do it. Something wasn't working out, and I just finished the drawing without drawing the second eye, his right eye. But you know, whatever. And I wasn't too happy with it. But after I finished drawing Adderfang, I went back and I redid it, and I liked it a lot better. So I'm glad I went back. So he does have 2 eyes, even though it never specified how many eyes he has. I assumed he had 2 eyes, and I was pretty happy with it in the end. So yeah, He doesn't have much going for him. He's just a pretty simple design, pretty simple cat. Nothing much to say. But yeah, so there's Acornpaw. Hopefully these next few cats go by a lot faster, or at least quicker than Acorn Fur was, because I have a lot less to say, so I can speed it up a bit more. I'd also like to apologize in advance if the video quality, audio quality, anything is just bad. This is the first time I'm ever making a video, ever. So I'm getting used to everything, but that's fine. So if it's bad, just bear with me, and hopefully over time it'll get better. I hope, but you know, for now it might be a little trash. Alright, so next up we have Acorntail, and this should be the last of the acorns. So this is a cat from one of the field guides. He's from Code of the Clans. He had no description, just that he's a Tom. Which is fine, I guess, but I just had to make it up as I went. And I was already bored of doing solid brown cats. So I went with a brown and white classic tabby, because I just thought it would be fun. I kept with the brown, though, because, I mean, if he's named after an acorn, he's gotta be brown, I guess. And I gave him yellow eyes, because I just thought it would look nice. This is the first cat who's finally facing to the right, so, yep. So that's good, you know, improving just little by little. I made him sitting a little anxious, I guess, or a little nervous, because he was not very confident in his abilities. He was made the deputy of Wind Clan after his former mentor died, and he didn't have any apprentice before him, because this is the story of how it became required that deputies must have an apprentice before they can become a deputy, I guess. So yeah, he immediately struggles with organizing patrols and all that. And on his first patrol, he encounters a Thunder Clan patrol near the border, which, by the way, is weird because they don't really share a border with Thunder Clan. I mean, I guess through 4 trees, but even then, that's not really a border because the 4 trees is like neutral territory. So I don't know why. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe I'm just completely wrong. But I don't think they share a border with Thunderland, but whatever. But Acorntail accuses them of stealing prey because he like smells rabbit, and he immediately just attacks the patrol. And later on, he realizes that he was stupid and he made a complete mistake. Because obviously, I mean, I don't know how young he is. I assume pretty young, but whatever. And he goes to his leader, Featherstar, and he's like, "Hey, I can't do this, man." He's like, "I messed up real bad." But Featherstar's like, "Hey, no, you're good." And Featherstar's the one that suggests that cats should have mentoring experience before they become deputy. And Acorntail decides to stay as deputy, and I guess he proposes the law officially, but, you know, Featherstar suggested it. And Featherstar also promises to give Acorntail the next kit that becomes becomes 6 months old, which is Prickle Kit, I think. So, yay! And that's pretty much it. Another background. Well, I guess he's the main character of this story. Not really a background character, but you know, not much. But that's Acorntail. Again, not much to be said about him, but yeah. So next up we have Adderfang, which is another actual memorable cat, you know, not just some random background cat. I mean, Acorn Fur is pretty memorable. I don't think he was in any of the main books. I remember him most from Blue Star's Prophecy, because he was a senior warrior and he was a pretty well-known warrior, I guess. And he had Thistleclaw as his apprentice, which is so upsetting because I actually really like Adderfang, but then we have Thistleclaw. In One Star's Confession, he becomes an elder. That's pretty much it. He's in Crooked Star's Promise and Leopard Star's Honor. He's only mentioned in Leopard Star's Honor, but in Crooked Star's Promise, he's seen in a battle, and then Mudfur just completely demolishes him before Mudfur's like, alright, I'm gonna become a medicine cat. And Adderfang does not like that. He's embarrassed about it during a gathering later on, which I think is funny. That's definitely something he would do. He was a temporary deputy at one point as well. He had a lot of children. He had Leopardfoot, Spotted Leaf, Willowpelt, Patchpelt, and Redtail. So some pretty big characters, you know. Yeah. He was in one of the main books. He was in The Last Hope. He was fighting in StarClan. But that's about it. In the novellas, he's an apprentice in Goosefeather's Curse. And in Spotted Leaf's Heart, he's her dad, obviously. But he's not too involved with that. Same with Redtail's dad. He's not too involved with his kids. I mean, he does help Spotted Paw when she gets hurt from falling from a tree. Just helps her get back to camp. But that's about it. I feel like he's more focused on being a warrior than being a dad. But yeah, I do really like him. And yeah. So the pose that I chose for him was the one that I was originally going to do for Acornpaw, but I just couldn't do it for some reason, and I like it a lot more. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I think this is my favorite of the first 5 that I've done. I really like it. I also like Acorn Fur, but I really like how I did Adderfang. I think it fits his character really well. And the colors I chose, I remember him being described as red, but he's just a dark brown tabby. But for some reason I remember him being described as a reddish brown, so I went with that, and I didn't want to give him too similar of a coloring to Acorn Fur, so I made him really dark. And I also didn't remember him being a tabby. Well, he's a mottled tabby. So I couldn't find any references for a mottled tabby, so I went for a speckled tabby look, which I think fits pretty well. And he has yellow eyes, so gave him some bright yellow eyes like a snake, and I think it really looks nice. So this is my favorite one. I like the clothes, I like the way he looks overall. And yeah, and our first ThunderClan cat here, so that's nice. So this is our last cat for the video, the last of this batch. We have Adderkit. He is another cat from one of the field guides. He's from Cats of the Clans, and he only appears dead. We never see him alive. He wanders away from StarClan grounds with a few other dead kits. And he is the Wind Clan kit. I think they're all one from each clan. All the kits stumble upon Rock, the blind guy, and he takes him back basically. And talks about how all the kids should be proud of their clans. Rock is the one that reveals how Adderkit dies. He was killed by a snake bite, which inspired his name, which is also why I didn't make him brown. I was tired of the browns. So I made him a tuxedo because it's the next most common cat coloring other than a brown or black tabby. So I made him a tuxedo cat. And I gave him blue eyes because he's a baby. I didn't know how old he was. I mean, he had to be like really young, right, for his parents not to name him until he was dead. So I just kind of went with whatever, and that's another reason why I just colored him however I wanted, because he wasn't named after what he looked like at all. And I went with like a really young cat, like a week old, because that's like the longest I've seen a cat go without a name. When Thunder had his kits, it wasn't really said how long it had passed, but I think it said about a quarter moon, so like a week. And he just did not name any of them for some reason. So I went with about a week old cat as the reference, and I just made him a little baby. But yeah. So there's not much to say about him. I mean, he has no listed appearance other than underfed, like I said earlier. And I didn't want to make him too, like, skinny, because, like, it's a baby, it's a kid. But at the same time, how underfed could he be if he was so young that he wasn't named yet? I don't know. I want to add a little side note here. Cats are always described as being like plump and well fed and fat once they get to StarClan because they have like all the prey they could ever need. So how is he described as underfed still when he's in StarClan? Like, he's just not eating up there? Like, there's plenty of food. So I don't understand that part as well. I don't know. So there's that too. But yeah. And I think I said that he's from Wind Clan. And Tallstar killed the snake that killed Adderkit after that. So, not much about him. And that is our last cat of the 5 that I'm starting with. Last of my first video ever. Whoa. So, if the quality is bad, don't tell me. I already know. Oh, and I've realized that I say or a lot. I think that a lot of the ums and uhs are still in the video, but I cut out so many as well. So I hope it's not too much. I'm gonna try and get better with that. You can follow me on my one social, Bluesky, which I'll put in the description. I do have Reddit, but I don't really post there, so I'll post the art on Bluesky. And I also have a Discord server if you want to join and see all the art and get notified for my videos. Whoa! So I'll also put that into the description. I don't have any Twitter because Elon Musk is obviously bad. It's Elon Musk. Or I guess X. I don't have X or Twitter. And I don't use Instagram or Facebook. So you can't follow me there, because Mark Zuckerberg is also not a great guy. But yeah. Stick around as I continue this project. Please stay with me. Bye.